Well, I do. I go around to a lot of schools and I give a lot of school talks, school presentations. And for older kids, grades like 2 to 5, I really get into the sort of the process of making a book, the publisher's role, and all sorts of aspects of publishing. And the kids can grasp it. But I make it very visual. I show a lot of pictures, a lot of sketches, and sort of keep it sort of fast-paced. But I've noticed over the years that when I visit with like kindergarten, pre-K, kindergarten, and first graders, they just want a story. You know, they don't want to hear you talk about, you know, how you did the sketch. They just want a story. And so they sit and they become, I just read stories to them and then I show them some of my original illustrations. But I just read these stories and they just love it. And they just get so engrossed. And in my book, The Circus Ship, there's a picture in the end of the book where all these animals are sort of hidden. It's almost like a game within the book. And I always have to be careful when I get to that page because, you know, they all want to come running up with their little fingers pointed, and say, "There's the lion, there's the elephant," and stuff. So but it's very rewarding to see them sort of become engrossed in the stories. When my first book came out, it's called Down to the Sea with Mr. McGee. I remember I went to a children's museum, and I gave a talk there, and the book had just come out, so not many people knew the story. And there's a part in the story where the main character, Mr. McGee, gets blown up by a whale and he ends up stuck in the top of a tree on a small island. And it sort of leads up to it sort of exciting, you know, where the boat is flying through the air. And I got to that part and this little boy in the front row, I'll never forget it, he looked at me and his eyes got really big and he started tearing up. and I looked down at him and he started like softly crying because he didn't know what was going to happen to the character. And I said, "Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Wait, what? Let's see what happens." And I quickly flipped the page. But he became so engrossed in the story and just hearing the words, and I'll just never forget that experience. Probably he's probably like a teenager now, but at the time I just thought, wow, this is really making an impact on these kids.